Hello Africa, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This channel is about programming, software development and technology, among others such as 3D modeling, animation. However, I also have another channel. Now, I've moved around Africa and I've collected certain things I want to share with you, especially about startups. That's why this video is about startups. So why startups fail in Africa? And I have gathered different points. However, let's first have a look at my upcoming project, and I want you to guide me. Do you want it in series, like part by part, or you want one single video that may take an hour or 2 hours? Put it in the comment section. This system is about a kiosk. Alright, so let me go ahead to the video of today, and I want to talk about a few things. Now, very many developers or software developers are looking at big technology breakouts, such as having something that is far worth like what is already happening in the Silicon Valley. They want to break and have that exit. Here in Africa, I'm looking at Africa specifically, but there are challenges. And what are some of these challenges? Why they don't make it through? They'll have an idea, they keep the idea. If it reaches the part of development, it develops, and some of them, they won't do it, unfortunately. Now, most of them are personal, some are by the government. However, I'll get time with different podcasts and look at different reasons in detail. So, number one, early gestation expectations. Early gestation expectations, I mean, they are developers or they are people, startups that have applications and they want them to produce results within the first 3 months. Within the first 3 months, just like a normal business. Here in Africa, we have people still adopting to technology. So if you have a concept and you want it to produce results within the first 3 months, trust me, it has to fail. It has to fail because the users need to learn the new technology. Okay? Even there are different applications that are still, or startups that are still struggling even outside Africa. So if you have your startup and you think within 3 months you'll have the results, you put in a lot, you advertise, creating awareness, I'm sorry, it won't. 2, pride, idea pride. Now, very many developers, startups, they have pride of what they create. They have an idea, they think it's the best, they cannot share it, then they go ahead to develop and launch. After launching, then they realize that the idea actually is not perfect for the market they expected it to be. Someone is developing something that should work for babies, okay, and then they keep, they keep pushing that small idea, and the idea becomes monotonous onto one small section of the market, but they do not want to share it with others before they go through that part of the gestation, before they reach the first beta release. It has to fail. Because if you do not share ideas, especially with the alpha testing with other developers or other people, okay, then your idea won't come up. And then, as we're going to see, you need other people from different teams. If you have an idea, well, the developers will do their job. What of marketing? What of field survey? What of human resource? That brings us to my other point, which is lack of an organization structure. I've seen various applications of various developers come up to me and they're like, I have this brilliant idea. Their concept is around creating something that only benefits two individuals, the owners of the company, in bringing in sales. They don't want to employ developers. They are the developers. They are the developers. They are the marketeers. They are the launchers. They are the graphics designers. They are the UI UX developers. Come on. They are the human resource. Come on. That's the reason why if I need medical services, I have to go to a doctor. A doctor must have an accountant. You get it? So you don't just wake up and you say, I have this idea, let me develop it. Let it all depend on me. No. That's why companies are limited by shares. There must be a person running human resource. There must be a lawyer to look at, make sure that your product is secure. Your product is secure for use. Because recently you see there came up issues with Facebook and data piracy. YouTube had to bring up a policy for children, but YouTube has been there for long. Are they just realizing this? No. But the lawmakers brought in suggestions, much as the technology does not depend on law. Are you getting it? It's independent of law, but there are different guidelines and policies that are run by different countries. Okay, so an organization structure, you need an accountant, you need a human resource, you need a marketing team, you need down to the roots, you need developers, you need people who are specialized in cybersecurity. Now, this does not mean that you start there and then and end. Okay? It doesn't mean that you need to start with all that big structure. No. It can be step by step as your application or venture grows bigger. So there is also failure to understand consumer behavior. In Africa, we still have people who share bills. In my country, Uganda, we have people who are tenants on one whole apartment block, but they share electricity bills and water bills. So you see the consumer behavior. So because of that, much as we have mobile money phones and lines, people have to go to a point of service or point of sales unit so that they have a receipt as evidence that they paid for electricity when their turn came up. That's a consumer behavior. We have people who want to still see it on the advert and question. They see the advert but still want to have more detailed questions. That's consumer behavior. Whereas we have many people using smartphones in the central or in the towns, in the far distant areas, they are still adopting to smartphone and they are still even struggling with buying data and even airtime, talk time. That's consumer behavior. So who are you creating it for? Are you supposed to develop a USSD app or a mobile application or web platform? Take for example, if you have an idea of something that is once in a while, a plot of land. If you have an application that is selling a plot of plots of land, it may not be an application as such, but rather a website, and the deals may not require instant payment online. Maybe someone can book, but they may not do instant payment online, because a plot of land requires a lot of documentation to verify that you're not being conned. So you cannot develop a mobile application where people are buying land. Maybe if you're a company, registered company, you can have where people can book or they bid on a plot of land. So you see, that's consumer behavior. And I don't know and product, product value. Okay. So if you have people who are doing disbursements, we have people who are dealing in fast moving consumer goods, FMCG. These people are people who want money so much by cash that if they feel you are making a deduction from the amount they are supposed to receive, they'll instantly bar from the application or from using your application. So what do? You can collect money and charge the customer a small surcharge, but the other people are supposed to receive their money instantly. So either they adopt a small charge on the disbursement to them, or they receive the money over the table, over the counter. Or you regulate them to receive over the counter once in a week, much as they have supplied several times. So we have too many functions in a venture. There are people who develop an application and they want it to do almost everything. It is the one dealing in Forex, selling airtime, doing Uber, an application to do almost all that. People will lack focus. Instead, they'll go to one application that they are sure of is dealing in one item. So we have selfish perceptions of success. Selfish perceptions of success. We have people who have startups and they have one single idea and they feel they have already succeeded. They pump a lot of money into the idea. They want it to start and then they pump a lot of money just because they have seen it work somewhere and they feel it should work here. So they keep pushing this idea because they know it will work. To them it will work. But if you look at all the things I've listed down, you don't just come up like that. Okay? So we also have overtaxation over a small gestation period. The government is overtaxing startups. A startup, you register the startup today, you've not even established or gone to the office yet or employed people, and then the government wants to tax you, then you must file, the tax is not uniform, it is not coming from your records, things of the sort. So this pushes back these people, and they, come on, they say, let me be a service provider rather than pay taxes, overbilling. For example, in my country, Uganda, I must pay taxes, VAT, on the items that I stock. After stocking the items that I'm bound to resell, then I must charge a tax from the customers who buy from me. Then I must pay as you earn, me as an employee and my employees, me as the owner. Then also we must pay taxes from the profits now and from the sales. Then again, at the end of the year, as we share our profits from the limited shares, again we are charged a certain tax. Now there is also National Social Security Fund. I'm supposed to pay, and I'm also supposed to pay National Social Security Fund. I, as the owner of the company, 5%, and then for my employee, and then I deduct 10% from their salary. So which means if the person is earning 100,000, okay, 100,000 in my country, it's just an example because in my country it's supposed to be 220 to be taxed. If a person is earning 100,000 and one, you take off payee, which is 30% payee, then out of the 100 they are remaining with, guess it, 700. Then you take off 10% from the 700, and then I add another 5%. Then from there, the city council is supposed to deduct sitting allowance fee of 100,000. Is it 150,000? Which, yes, 200,000, which is paid after 6 months. So at the end of it, if you're a person looking at developing a multi-billion, that's why we have foreigners who are converting dollars into our shillings, investing more than we, the locals, can invest, because we cannot simply afford. Because for them, the little amount there, the little amount in their country is the big amount here. So it's a small sort of investment. Then lastly, we have idea duplication for geolocation ignorance. Someone grabs an idea from France, from the UK, they have been there for some time, they come and think their idea will work here in Africa. For example, I'm just saying, I don't know any example I can take. Take for example, the car renting business here. The car renting business is planting in hell, planting on bare ground. Yes, it can be for functions if you have your driver, okay? For functions, for ceremonies, if you have your driver, you have a group of people, and then you have a driver, and then they're going to drive around. But renting a car to someone and you give them so they drive and return, it does not work here, especially in my country, because we have porous borders. People can just go through a border here and they go with the car and even resell it. So if you have an application that is renting cars for self-drive, here it won't work because of the porous borders. Even the laws, when you identify that the car has gone off the map, you can't contact the police to investigate. The car will disappear like that. So a person will copy an idea of car rentals, okay, and they put it here and they don't look at that consumer behavior and security. For example, our consumer behavior here, you must have a driver and you rent for a purpose. Someone has a wedding ceremony, they have a birthday party, they have a school party, they have what do they call it? They have guests and they want them to be picked up, and then you must employ a driver, and that's our consumer behavior here. The moment you go beyond that and you say it's a self-drive, trust me, unless you're renting to a company that is established, there your car rental services will work. Okay? So we have applications here that have always come up and they fail. So in Africa, what is your drive when you're starting when you're establishing your startup? What is the gestation period? Okay? What is your organization structure? How many people are you employing? Are you employing someone in marketing, or it's only you and your co-founder? Okay? What is your business model? I was chatting with some other person who was like, come on, why do you need to charge me for support? Yet you are using YouTube for free. I told the person, come on, I give you free videos because YouTube advertises on my channel, and my business model is because I need that ad revenue. So YouTube is not free. I work ahead to get that money. Then someone was asking about still support. Why do I ask for support? Come on, I buy internet data. Here we use internet data. So I must buy the data, upload the videos. So if someone supports and you come and luckily you don't support and you watch free content, well and good. So that's a business model, okay? What is the consumer behavior? Do you have a target market? Are you dealing with something that is already considered a scam? In my country, cryptocurrency doesn't work. The scammers spoiled the industry. They were scamming vulnerable people a lot. So if you're establishing a startup here to deal in cryptocurrency conversion, it's bound to fail. Because cryptocurrency here in Africa, most countries want something they can control. And cryptocurrency is not controlled by the central bank. Okay? The legal regulations also define the amount you're supposed to be receiving or transacting. Okay? So how many functions or how many things do you want to put in your application or venture? If your application has a lot of things to deal with, it may not be successful because you're trying to finance a lot of items into your application. Then selfish perceptions, and then idea duplication. So with that, hope we catch up, guys, in my next podcast. I'll be looking at consumer behavior in detail. If there comes nothing more, well and good. So let's meet in the next video. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment.